After my last video essay outperformed all my other content by a huge margin, my mind started racing. What can I possibly make a video about next? Do I stick to games? Should I just make an art film about my
We're
dog?
not doing anything with the dog. Leave the dog alone.
But then Monday brought some unexpected news about the release of Spider-Man 2 for PS5. I'm not even talking about the countless spoilers for the suit designs, IGN. I'm talking about the debate about whether the game is too short. Some are crying foul that the story for a $70 game can be completed in around 15 hours.
State leaked that achieving the Platinum Trophy, essentially 100% completion, took around 25 to 30 hours. Some fans noted this was similar to the original game and therefore fine, while others grew upset after deeming Spider-Man 2 too short given its full price cost.
So, is that too short for a full price game in 2023? No. Fine, I'll present my case, but you better buckle up, Internet. Clinical research is my day job. The first thing we want to take into consideration is the genre. Different genres of video games have different built-in expectations as far as how long you'll be spending behind the controller. Spider-Man 2 is classified as an action-adventure game, and as I mentioned before, can reportedly be completed in about 15 hours if you're focusing on the main story. So, how does Spider-Man 2 compare to other action-adventure games? Shout out to howlongtobeat.com for all of the following data. First up, let's look at the Uncharted series. According to the site, each of the 4 mainline games can be completed in about 8 to 15 hours. But what about a superhero action-adventure game, you ask? Well, the 3 Infamous games range from 10.5 to 15 hours and kind of weirdly got shorter as they went instead of longer. But what about the other open city action-adventure superhero who dangles enemies from Legis series, the Batman Arkham games? Well, these take between 12 and 16.5 hours. So as far as it compares to similar games, Spider-Man 2 is par for the course. The next thing to take into consideration is the type of developer behind the game. Insomniac is a AAA first-party developer for Sony consoles. Generally speaking, titles from AAA developers are going to go for the current standard retail price, which became $70 after the Xbox Series and PS5 consoles were released. Let's take a look at how Spider-Man 2 compares to other full-price AAA titles. Insomniac's first PS5 exclusive was Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, which clocks in at 11 hours. Naughty Dog, another AAA studio under Sony's umbrella, released a remake of The Last of Us just last year, which can be completed in about 14 hours. Moving away from Sony exclusives, some of this year's other AAA releases included Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Immortals of Avium, Starfield, and, Redfall. All of these games released at the new $70 standard, and have varying completion times attached to them. As we can see from these data, there is no consistency for game length even among titles from AAA developers and publishers. Finally, I believe this debate is a textbook example of being careful what you wish for. Spider-Man 2 falls well within the range of normal game length for its genre, as well as other titles from similar caliber developers in the industry. So what would it really look like if a game's price was inextricably tied to its length? Well, Tears of the Kingdom and Baldur's Gate 3 both take between 50 and 60 hours to see the story through, and at least 3 times that for the completionists out there. In a utopia, that would mean Spider-Man 2 cost a third of the price. But this is capitalism, so it would probably mean Spidey remains at $70 while Tears of the Kingdom and Baldur's Gate 3 shoot up to $210. Look, I wasn't kidding when I said clinical research is my day job. But no matter how many data points I throw into a video essay, the truth is there's simply never going to be a golden ratio when it comes to a game's length versus its price. I truly believe that's because art is nearly impossible to quantify. Video games, television shows, and films all cost some combination of our time and our money for us to enjoy. Somewhere along our own personal price-time continuums, we find a sweet spot of what we're willing to pay for the types of media, and therefore the types of art, that we enjoy the most. So if $70 doesn't fit onto your personal continuum for the 15-hour base game experience, that's perfectly okay. No matter how passionate each of us may be about video games, the amount of time we're able to dedicate to gaming varies drastically from person to person. So my fellow nerds, make the decisions that work best for you. Even if you aren't able to enjoy a new game on release day, when the time and the price is right, it will be there waiting for you.